to talk about something that I don't think gets spoken about honestly enough. The feeling where your life is fine, like nothing is technically wrong. You have people who love you, you're getting by, and on paper, it probably looks great. But inside, you feel completely stuck. Like everyone else is moving forward, and you are just standing there trying to figure out what is wrong with your life. I've been there for longer than I can remember. And this is the kind of conversation I wish someone had with me 10 years earlier. Hi everyone, I'm Yang. I'll help you quiet your overthinking, find your inner peace, trust your intuition to align within so you can expand what you thought possible. I'm not going to tell you just find yourself, be yourself, because when I was most stuck in my life, that kind of advice made me feel worse, not better. Like how? I want to find myself and I want to know myself too. I lived with myself for years and I still didn't know what I wanted. You simply just won't magically know how your life should look like because you have never done the proper steps. What I want to share are just 6 steps that generally help me get unstuck. Some of them I resisted for way too long and stay until the end because the last one is the most important step. At least it was for me. So let's get right into it. Step 1. Letting yourself imagine without immediately shutting it down. Okay, so the first thing that helped me sounds simple, but also very hard to do. I just let myself actually imagine what I wanted without immediately talking myself out of it. Because for most people, when we start to think about what we actually wanted in our lives to look like, doubts would just creep in before we even notice. That's not realistic. You're not that smart. Who do you think you are? And I just agree and shut it down every single time. So for a long time, I didn't even really put the time into thinking about what I wanted because I never let myself do it. What changed for me was giving myself permission to just daydream. There was no logic, no practicality, no but how would that even work? Just if nothing was in the way, what would my life look like? Where would I be? And what would I be doing? At this stage, just stop thinking about the possibility and the how. Let yourself imagine as wild as possible and let go of any resistance. You are just dreaming and you are just creating the amazing feelings for yourself. There is nothing to lose to just dream. You feel stuck because you're not satisfied with your life right now. And that's okay. In fact, that's the perfect place to be because now you can start to figure out what you really want in your life. And if being realistic didn't serve you before, it's time to change. And right now, you only have to do one thing. Just let yourself imagine. Dream as big as possible because you're allowed to imagine anything. And sometimes it may not even be big. Not everybody wants a dreamy lifestyle, but you have to allow yourself to think about what you want. Most people only think about what they don't want, but think about what you don't want won't get you what you want. Only think what you want gives you the direction in your life. Ask yourself these questions. Like, what would a perfect day look like for me? What the morning would look like? Afternoon? Evening? Is it with your friends, family, your partner? What would your perfect job or work look like? What is it that you are passionate about that you wish could turn into something you do every day? Any childhood dream that if you don't do it right now, you will have regret if you die tomorrow. And what are your fears? If you can remove those fears, how would your life change? Do you become a better version of yourself? Would you like yourself more if you can overcome those fears? What does your dream house look like? Design the perfect home for yourself. Ask yourself those questions constantly and figure out what you really want for your life because everybody is different. And step 2, remove the doubts. For all the questions you answered, all the lifestyle you want, is someone living it in this world right now? If yes, then it is possible. Before you say, but it is not possible for me, stay with me for a little longer. Don't think about yourself for now. Just think that, is it possible? Maybe for someone else, but is it possible? Yes, definitely, right? The perfect relationship that you want, is someone living with the perfect relationship? I bet that is a yes, and you might even know someone close that are having a fantastic relationship right now. If it is possible, now think about why wouldn't it be possible for you? Maybe you would say, I'm not smart, I don't have the background, I'm not rich enough, I'm not pretty enough. But I can break down everything I just said here. When you say I'm not smart, is there someone out there in the world who is not smart enough but still manages to make a lot of money, still manages to have a fantastic relationship? Is there someone who is not from a prestigious family background but still manages to rise above? Is there someone who is not pretty enough but still has a fantastic relationship? Everything you doubt yourself about, there is something to prove otherwise. If it is possible for other people, why would it not possible for you? I'm not saying everything will be easy for you, but at this stage, I think it is very important to just let yourself be comfortable with the fact that everything is possible for you because it can calm your nervous system. And calming your nervous system is very important for you. Until you feel something is safe and comfortable, Your nervous system will always attack anything that does not feel safe to make you feel comfortable. Remember that everything is possible for you. It may not be easy, but it is possible. And I know removing doubt is a very difficult thing to do, which is all my channel is all about. There are many different ways, and honestly it takes a lot of mental practice, but it is also one of the most beneficial things you can work on yourself in your life. You can check out my other videos on how to remove doubts, limiting beliefs, and trust yourself again. And step 3, ditch the life plan and just find the next step. Now you know everything is possible. Not just know. Not everyone knows that anything can happen, but to feel that even just for the slightest chance that your dream life can happen, to feel that anything is possible for you, even if it doesn't look like it right now. You feel that there is a possibility, but you just don't know how it can happen. And that brings us to step 3, ditch the life plan and just find the next step. For a really long time, I felt like I was stuck and don't know where to go because I didn't have a plan. Like I need a life plan, the perfect roadmap, the whole thing laid out in order for me to start. And every time I tried to make that plan, I just freeze because the future felt so uncertain and so far away. And the staircase felt so long and I couldn't see how it all can connect. I knew it was possible, but I didn't know the exact steps to get there. So most of us would just freeze, so we don't do anything because it is too much and it's too big and it overwhelms us. But most of us are not lazy, we're just overwhelmed. So our brain stops working and does not do anything instead. What helped me was just letting go of the roadmap and asking a much smaller question. Yes, you keep where do I want to be in 5 years in your mind, but you don't plan the exact steps because you can never. Just ask, what can I do next? What can I do this month, this week, or even this day just to help me step maybe a little closer to my dream? For example, you want to start a business, but you don't know anything about it and it feels so hard. Don't think about what your company will look like in 10 years. For now, just ask yourself, what is the next logical step? Okay, I don't know anything, so the reasonable step for me to do is just to know more about it. Read some books or articles and watch some videos about how to start a business. And that's it. Just think about the next step and then do it. Have the big dream in the back of your mind as your direction, but do the smallest step possible in front of you right now. It is not your job to know the how and the exact step to get to your dream. It is the universe's job to bring you there. Your job is just to trust that it is possible and let it unfold in ways you cannot even imagine. When I stopped trying to plan my whole life and just started asking what is the one next step, that was the time I finally felt like I started moving again in my life. Really, it was just that simple. And step 4, let go of perfect and just start. This one took me a really long time to actually do, not just understand. I was such a perfectionist. Before, when I tried anything new, I would read everything, watch everything, prepare for every possible outcome. Then I would wait for the right moment, for when I felt ready. Even for the smallest step, I wanted to make sure it looked perfect and beautiful. But spoiler alert, I never felt ready, and neither will you. When you start something new, of course you're not confident. Of course you're not perfect. Of course you're not clear. You gain confidence by doing. You get closer to perfect when you are not perfect first. You gain clarity when you walk the path. Instead of trying to do the thing well, I just tried to do the thing. Ugly and messy. I started before I was ready, and it was so rough. But something shifted when I did. Because suddenly, I wasn't just thinking about it. I was in it. I was doing the thing. Because being in it, even badly, felt so much better than standing outside perfectly prepared. Most of us think that we're afraid of failure, but we're just afraid of quitting. First, when you don't try, by the definition, you already failed because you never tried. And second, when you keep going, when you keep trying, if you don't stop, there's no way for you to fail. The only time you fail is when you quit or when you die. So strangely, when you're actually doing the thing, you won't feel like a failure if you keep going. What would look like a failure before, now I just don't care. Because I know when I just started, it is not possible to get the job done beautiful. Because I don't know anything. And I acquired the knowledge by doing it and testing it and getting feedback from failures. And trust me, you feel much less of a failure when you try something and it didn't work out than when you just watch yourself do nothing. Think about it like the first pancake is always a bit of a disaster, right? But you still have to make it in order to get to the pancake 5, to get to the beautiful pancake. And step 5, learning to separate myself from the outcome. Don't identify with outcome. For a long time, I had my whole identity wrapped up in outcomes, like whether or not things worked out determined how I felt about myself as a person. Not just that, oh, that didn't work, but oh, I didn't work. And that made every decision feel enormous because I wasn't just risking a project or a plan, I was risking a sense of who I was. I think that's why I stayed stuck for as long as I did. It wasn't laziness, it was that every possible attempt felt like too much was on the line. What slowly changed for me was realizing that I am not my results. My worth isn't something I earn by succeeding. And a failed attempt at something doesn't mean I'm a failed person. Failures are just feedback of what doesn't work and try something new next time. Life is much easier when you stop identifying yourself with what happened in the past. Your past events do not determine who you are. You decide who you are. You can fail 1,000 times and still think you're going to succeed because that's your identity. Your self-worth and identity doesn't change because what happened in the past. It says how you identify yourself with, not what outer circumstances are and what other people say you are. And this takes a lot of inner work too. And you should check out my other video on how to reinvent your identity. I will put the link in the description. And when I learned to stop identifying with things outside of me, I could try things, I could be better at things, I could fail and still be okay. Because it was never meant to be this way. We were just conditioned to identify with what's outside of us when we grow up. When you don't let your outcome define who you are, you will keep trying and keep walking your path no matter what the outcome is. And step 6, releasing control and trusting that things are always working out for you. Now it comes to the last step, which is the most important step. When you see someone from school just got promoted, a friend bought a house, someone online built a whole business by 21, and you just be sitting there like, what am I even doing with my life? Maybe you would scroll for 10 minutes and just feel vaguely terrible about your life without knowing why. It was like the background noise you'd gotten so used to that you stopped hearing it. What slowly helped me was realizing that I wasn't behind. I was just on a different timeline. Everybody has their own pace, and my path is genuinely not supposed to look like theirs, because I'm not them. The things that I'm here to do, the life that I'm here to live, it has its own timing, and the timing is actually working out, even when it doesn't feel like it. So I started to let go of the ideas that I need to control how it all happened. And honestly, it was one of the most freeing things I've ever done. Because here's what I noticed. When I stopped trying to control everything and just took my next small step and trust that the rest would sort itself out, things actually started moving. Not in the way I planned, but much better than what I could have planned. The universe or the God or life or source, whatever resonates with you, is conspiring in your favor. Even when it doesn't look like it. Even when it feels like nothing is working out. Things are always working out for your highest good. Even in the mess. If there is a dream that keeps coming back to you, no matter how realistic you tell yourself, it means something. Not everyone feels this dream that strongly. Not everyone has something that keeps returning no matter how many times they dismiss it. And if you do, I really don't think that's random. I think the fact that it keeps finding you means something. The universe put it in your head for a reason. There is no coincidence that you are watching this video. Out of everything you could have been doing right now, you are here. And because something in you was ready to hear this. Maybe things were already being set in motion for you, even now. You don't have to figure the whole path. Just take the smallest next step. Trust that the universe will figure out the rest. The universe wants you to achieve it. It is conspiring everything for you to achieve it. It has a bigger plan for you than you could have ever imagined. You are always maybe just one step away from your dream. You are so much closer than you think. So yeah, those are the 6 steps that helped me feel like my life is finally not stuck again. I'm not sharing these because I have it all figured out. I really don't. But these genuinely helped me, and I just wanted to share them with you so maybe you could be inspired too. And if even one of these felt like something you needed to hear today, I'm really glad that you watched this video. And if you're going through it right now, I just want you to know it doesn't last forever. Let me know in the comments which resonated with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!